And welcome again to another edition of Daily U.S. Pre-Market Analysis for today, September 18th. Let me get started with the disclaimer. The information, context, opinions which are expressed in the presentation and on the following slides are solely those of the presenter and not necessarily those of Vantage, and are solely used for educational purposes, as they do not constitute investment advice and or consultation on how a client should trade. Vantage does not guarantee the accuracy or reliability of the information provided herein. I'm your host, Gio Banacour, a senior market analyst, market educator, and demonstrator of strategies with Vantage, bringing over 20 years of experience, and also as a commodity trader, and also I hold a Series 3 license, which allows me to be a commodity trader in the United States, and also I'm a CMT candidate. The agenda for today will be looking at the economic calendar, what's moving the markets, identifying key levels of support and resistance, and trading with Fibonacci tools. About Vantage, we offer, our ecosystem offers over 1,000 instruments, over 100 chart patterns, over 100 technical and drawing indicators, offering CFDs on major markets as Forex, indices, share, commodities, cryptocurrencies. What we stand for: lightning fast execution, award-winning 24-hour support, intuitive tools, global connectivity, and strict regulation. Identifying clear, consistent trading habits is where I like to bring your attention to. You want to start building a memory muscle. One of those will be being comfortable with the prospect of losing money if the market goes against you. Emphasize risk management, looking to risk at least 1%, between 1 and 2% per trade. So on a 10,000 euro account, you'll be looking to risk per trade 100 to 200, and having a reward risk ratio of 1 to 3 at best. Volatility can spike and spreads can widen, so reducing leverage is a good idea, and the use of stop loss is highly recommended. When we look into entering our position, whether we long or short, we're looking to identify the trend, timing our entry and exit points, risk management, and confirmation validation. All right, I think it's important that we share a common vocabulary for what is technical analysis. So let me dive right in there. Now, is it just a form of data visualization? Obviously, charting, displaying market data and lots of different data visualization modes is a big part of where technical analysis came from, but you gotta go back a couple of hundred years to the rice pits of Osaka, Japan, for a gentleman named Munohisa Homa, who invented the Japanese candlesticks as a way to try to capture all of the behavior of traders in those rice pits. We've, of course, advanced the discipline over hundreds of years, and there are lots of different chart types, but I'm going to argue to you now is that technical analysis is far more than just collecting data and displaying it in a way that we can interpret a lot of information quickly. That is part of it. But if you look at definitions from some of the very early texts from the 1920s, 30s, that said technical analysis is about the study of the market itself, all of the price action, all of the investor behavior, everything that's happening in an open, freely traded market is part of our discipline. And I love that definition because it is quite broad, and hopefully through today's session, you'll understand just how broad and the depth of study you go through. We also know that the technical analysis is a study of that supply and demand relationship. We care a lot about the behavior and the psychology of investors, and it's one of the hardest things to quantify when you're thinking about investment decisions. I'll argue that is all represented in this beautiful little element called price, which we can call it also a systematic evaluation. In systems, the reason I bring this quote up is that a lot of us have heard about algorithmic trading, high frequency. You might be an advanced programmer, you might know Python or R or many other languages, and that is an important way to express some of the ideas. But even if you're not a coder, you're not an algo trader, you should be thinking in terms of systems, a rules-based, repeatable approach. And that's something that was drilled into me as I spent surrounded time by some of the best money managers in the business, is that they all have a defined repeatable process or a system that they follow no matter what the market is doing. All right. A quick refresher from your Economy 101 class. Remember, at a fixed rate of supply, an increase in demand is going to move us up the price equilibrium, or a decrease in demand will move price down the equilibrium. So when you're thinking about an open, freely traded market, demand-driven investors is inherently pushing prices up. And fear or selling pressure is going to push price down because it's a fixed supply. I want you to hold that thought in your mind because it is perhaps one of the most important parts of the magic that we're trying to unlock here, or the message of the market that we're trying to decode, which is related to learning that if you take emotion out of the which is take the emotion out of the what would be related to that should be, or there could be, or there would be, should be, out of decision making, and if you look at just what is happening and you can quantify that, you have a big advantage over most of human beings. I would argue for all of us in the investment discipline, there's a lot of emotion tied to those trading decisions that we make each and every day, and those emotional impacts on our decision making can be very negative. So the more you can remove your emotional and cognitive bias from your decision making, the better chance you'll have of staying on the right side of trends. All right, I'm gonna stop sharing my screen for a second, and I'm gonna start sharing my charts so we can go ahead and hop in to comment and identify possible trade scenarios for today. Okay, cool. So now you're seeing my chart in front of you. You have the daily candlestick for the S&P 500, which during the London session, after yesterday's obviously much highly expected rate cut of 25 basis points, the market kind of was expecting a 50, and so, but anyhow, we did see that the market wanted to close that gap that we had opened with. So it did close that gap, and today the market has rallied to the upside, reaching almost 24,800 psychological level, new all-time high again. And so therefore, can we contemplate that by tomorrow the market could probably be hitting 25,000, and just closing the week at that level? I mean, that will be something of interest. That will be something that hey, we can contemplate the idea, right? So I'm going to leave my first level of support here that I had done yesterday, and then use the basically this doji that was created the day before as a possible level of support, which is right above the yesterday swing low. So that's our level for the Nasdaq. S&P, oh whoa, hold them up, hold up, oh wow, hold up to your cookies, because the S&P has opened strongly, gap up. Look at this, fellas, wow. Are we gonna see that also retracement to close that gap? I mean, this is a big gap. This is a big gap, fellas. Now, can we come and say that because of this strong fluctuation to the upside, are we gonna be, fluctuating towards that 7,000 marker for the S&P? Whoa, hold on, you cookies. This is something of interest, strong interest, my friends. So let's see what will happen today. Is the market going to pull back and just close that out? I'm gonna use this 6666666. Oh my god. So we're looking at such a strong gap up today. This is unusual, obviously. So strong gap to the upside. Can we come in and say that when the market opens, we're gonna continue this momentum to the upside? That sounds like it. Also, gap up. Now, I mean, this candle closed as 46 or 48, and this one opened at 46 or 381. So there's a gap. Obviously, there's a gap, but not as much as the S&P. Wow. Will the Nasdaq follow suit 47,000 psychological value, 46,200 ish, and then I'm gonna use 46,000. Ooh, wow, that's a strong gap up. Markets are just rallying. All right, so we have here the crude oil. So looking for, actually, again, I'm looking at that. It's gonna be ranging. It's gonna stay within the week range. This pivot point is being used. We got it from we got it yesterday from, obviously, from Tuesday's fluctuation, and that's a pivot point. So let's keep using that one. I'm basically gonna use today's swing low so far as support, and I'm gonna just tighten up my second for Tuesday's swing low. So that's our levels. Again, pivot point is a yellow line. Looking for market used to fluctuate around that. Let's see. All right, so nat gas, is it probably possible trend lower? Let's see. Selling mode in nat gas. Yesterday's swing high, our level of resistance, and basically that where yesterday open. So looking to sell nat gas, looking for crude oil is more like sideways choppiness. So gold yesterday had a pretty wild swing as well. Profit taking it is in effect. So can we contemplate another continuation to the lower leg down? I'm just gonna look at previous swings lows to give us that particular level of support, 3680, and then I'm just gonna use 3700 because we could probably see some volatility. Obviously, Trump is having a lot to say on investment decisions in London. So let's see what will happen. Silver, so silver pushed lower, but it's more of a profit taking. I'm just gonna leave this pretty wild white swing here yesterday, leaving the same level of support. Copper, so copper is also trading lower, pushing lower. Let's see. I'm usually gonna just use 445, second level of support. Resistance 465. I'm actually gonna just open this opening right here. So pushing lower, copper. Metals are indeed. All right, nice jump on Bitcoin. Look at that. So Bitcoin moved by thousands. So let's just see 119. I'm gonna leave that level since basically double bottom with the wicks here created for Bitcoin. 13.5. It's just the Bitcoin moves by thousands. So okay, so that we have that. Now that we have the euro on our side, take a look. Making almost hitting that, almost closing above 119 yesterday, but it pulled back and it closed below that. So pushing below 118 today. Will that be the case? I'm gonna actually bring up my first level of support to this level, and then 117. Now resistance, I'm gonna use today's swing high, and then 119 psychological for the euro. Pound, we all knew that the Bank of England was going to leave the rates unchanged, but that caused a sell-off momentum to the downside. So looking at values for support, 137,700, and then the this basically the opening of this candle. So pound retracing, dollar pushing higher after opening gap down. So is it going to be a recovery day for the dollar index? Let's see, we'll find out. All right, now that I identified my levels of support and resistance, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back to the NASDAQ and take a look at a hourly chart. And in this hourly chart, what I will do is look for profitable, for sharp patterns that will indicate either a continuation of the trend, correction of the trend, okay, or possible spurs more moment coming out of the market. So the last 2 hours, market has been in a pullback mode. Obviously, after making such a nice parabolic movement, this could have been also news that that Nvidia is going to be working with the Intel to work on chips. So that was a boost, and we understand that that the government, the U.S. government, has a 10% stake in Intel. So that was a nice push to the upside. It also that's what we've seen, and all three indices have been pushed to the upside. So they're in sync, looking to go long the indices with the trend. Obviously, this is another corrections, profit taken. Also on this in the end, S&P. So that's maybe pushing lower. That gap needs to be closed, or will it be closed? I mean, yesterday fluctuation, the Nasdaq gap was closed. So then we have the Dow, which is closing the gap as we speak. So basically, it has been closed. It had a low of 46,359 in this week. So let's see what will happen. So also crude oil is turning around the pivot point. Strong momentum to the downside for nat gas. So sell orders are contemplated, strongly advised. Gold looking to sustain itself and make another leg up to fluctuate above and close about 3,700. That'd be nice. Silver consolidation, making a pretty correction move here, and see if a breakout will happen. Copper, it just saw is churning. Then we have Bitcoin getting ready for another breakout, 118. And in this time frame, the euro has been just in decline for 4 hours. So let's see how much lower can it push. As the pound also just strong move to the downside. All right, so 136 seems to be a level of rejection, and then we have the dollar index pushing higher, but that'll change soon anyhow. All right, now that I've done this, I'm gonna break it down to 5 minutes, and then I'm gonna turn on my fractals, and I'm gonna turn on my VWAP. Depending on how much volatility I see in the markets, we can come in and contemplate using the Bollinger Bands. So using our Bollinger Band, our VWAP, which is the blue line, is a volume weighted average price. We can come in and speculate that markets, how or not they're trending to the upside, or depending on the trend, in this case on the upside. Once the market has fluctuated outside the band and it starts to fluctuate back into it, we can come in and speculate that the VWAP is a place where the market is attracted to, and from here it'll reverse as it's doing so. Sometimes the market fluctuation is stronger than that. It'll penetrate the VWAP towards the lower band, and from here we'll take another shot of going long. But obviously we want to be measuring the momentum of the market when it's trending lower. So perhaps sometimes also the market will fluctuate outside the band and stay outside the band, and we understand that will be strong volatility. So we use our Bollinger Bands in that perspective. Then we have here, obviously, that the market seems to be respecting, just rejecting the VWAP. Let's see if on another take, the market will in this particular candle, it'll fluctuate lower and then penetrate the VWAP. That could happen. Let's take a look at, and we still have 11 minutes for the market to open. So let's see what will happen. I mean, I want to be able to take a look at going long the market, or when the market opens. That could be a particular scenario here. So let's see what will happen. I want to be able to, again, come and just be able to use my 2 cents of humor in saying that we will be looking at the market, looking to enter long market has been, it did open gap up during the New York session, and quite substantial gap ups. So those are gap ups that we always want to be trading, because those are the ones that will give us the best, our best return ROI, return on investment. So let's see what else is happening in the market as we speak. Taking a look at other things such as fluctuation, market consideration of you know of things. So look at this particular, as I said earlier, market strong fluctuation to the downside will penetrate the VWAP as it has, and is rejecting the lower band. So that could have been an entry long, but that right there is an inverted hammer. But obviously in those obviously point out that to be the type of momentum to the upside, reversal. So, but we're still in the trade, because let's say, for example, if you were to take this trade, right, and so your entry, let's say, would have been somewhere at the opening of this candle, for example, right? Your stop is obviously that swing low, right below the swing low, and you target either the VWAP, right, or the upper band, but let's just go for the VWAP, and we're looking, we see like a risk reward ratio 1.23, right? I mean, not bad. I mean, a 1-on-1, at least a 1-on-1, 1-to-1. So that we're seeing that in this momentum of this trade is we're looking for it to reverse, because we have a hammer here, inverted hammer. So moving to the upside, that's what we want in this particular hypothetical trade to happen. Now the market has fluctuated way outside of VWAP. This is where we could probably turn on the Bollinger Bands, and we see that the market was walking the lower bands on, or sliding the lower band. All right, so crude oil market also, the time frame fluctuating around the pivot point that or the typical price. Then we have nat gas market fluctuating completely outside, or we have no trade. If we're gonna be following a system, the system is that we do reversal of the VWAP when we're shown a reversal. In this particular case, market penetrated the VWAP and closed below the VWAP, so we continue to understand the market is pushing lower, like it's giving us the scenario right now. So market making an attempt to there towards the lower band. We're too late in this particular trade to enter it short. Then we have here silver. So again, possible trade setup on this particular asset as the market continues to push lower. Then we will see if we are able to have this candle close below it. If it closes below the VWAP, contemplating a entry short. Now, if the market comes, touches the VWAP and reverses and closes above the VWAP, we can contemplate a reversal of the VWAP. So entering market long towards the upper band. Let's take a look. Let's see what will happen. We still have a minute left here. So yeah, let's talk about other scenarios in regards to the market. Where are we going to be seeing the market fluctuation, time frame wise, between today and tomorrow? Looking at, obviously, let's say we're looking at silver. So silver reaching 50 by the end of the year. It's not far-fetched. 45. Obviously, we want to be able to see that 45 milestone being met first. Then copper back to 5. Gold, we hit 3,700, but we haven't been able to close above that level and just continue to push higher. So 4,000 is obviously that's the next psychological level for gold, and Nasdaq 25,000. S&P 7,000, Dow 47,000. Crude oils perhaps is going to start fluctuating below 64. All right, so this candle actually closed way above the VWAP, but still pushing lower. So the chances are for us to enter this if we are to sell the VWAP. So market comes towards the VWAP, penetrates the VWAP, and we just enter at the market to a short side, and our target will be the lower band. Obviously, so let's see. Once that happens, that's when I'm going to place the hypothetical entry short, because the market is pushing lower as the dollar index also puts some pressure on the metals and the currencies as it pushes higher. So let's see what will happen. Still trading lower, making. So let's see what will happen. I mean, things can happen in a blink of an eye, and then copper could just fluctuate higher. So silver is pushing lower. Let's see how much lower are we going to be seeing silver push to the downside. We're still waiting for about 4 minutes for the market to open. That should bring a lot of fireworks into the market. Let's see what will happen, because obviously we have Trump saying that all of this money is coming in as investment from with England. So let's see what will happen. Okay, look, take a look. All right, so market has rejected so far the VWAP, rebounding off of that level. So let's see if it'll be able to sustain itself above the VWAP and give us a reversal, or is it going to penetrate the VWAP? If we penetrate the VWAP, we can come in and enter the market short, right? And then let's see, the target is the lower band. So let's see. I'm getting ready. I'm gonna just use that and see. It's penetrating it, and it still rejecting it. Hasn't penetrated the VWAP. I'm still looking for that penetration. Now, if it does happen to close here, that's fantastic, because that's just showing us a reversal. So the next candle closing, this candle closes right above the VWAP, tells us that it is sustaining, it is absorbing all of those sellers, and then it should reverse, right? Because now the RSI is pointing to being oversold, so that's another probability that the market will reverse. But now obviously we've been pushing lower across the board on this particular asset in the last half an hour, last hour. Right? Okay, here we go. So penetrated. All right, so I'm just gonna take my trade here, lower band, and the stop loss, previous swing lows here, like this one right here. Because if that was support, right? So that level was support, because market turned lower and then just rebounded. So that's resistance for me. But let's see what happens. And this, oh gosh, oh no. It's pushing back, it's pulling back stronger. No, let's see. We want this thing to continue to push lower. And we understand that's the behavior of the market so far. So why not? Why not see that this continuation of this? Are we gonna be, yes, could we have entered here short? Yeah, of course, because the penetration of the market, we understand the market was, but we have no idea. I mean, this fluctuation lower, and then just rebounding off of this level, and then just taking its time to go back towards that level. A lot of buyers obviously holding the price. So let's see if we will have a winning trade. Let's just leave that. We'll come back to it in a minute. Copper fluctuated outside the band, so that's a no-go. All right, so then we have Bitcoin. We understand Bitcoin. Wow, boom, parabolic movement. Wow, nice push to the upside. Then we have the euro, just continue to sell off. So most likely our level of support could probably be breached. Then the pound also pushing lower, because the dollar index just boom, just hyperbolic movement to the upside. Right. Let's take a look at the Nasdaq, since we are about to open the Nasdaq, and it's still holding the Nasdaq after this particular trade, just picking his head up below the VWAP and closing above the VWAP. So that's a strong rhetoric. Let's see. All right, so we have the market opening. There's the market. There's the bell. All right, so what is the market gonna do? Is it gonna fluctuate lower? It's gonna push. It's gonna push higher. And it's looking to push higher. Let's see. We want this market to push higher. This one we want it to push higher. So we're gonna get stopped out on this one. Are we gonna get stopped out on this one? Perhaps yes, perhaps no. I don't know. Let's see. And we will get stopped out on this trade. And well, maybe not, because we still haven't reached that lower level in strongly pushing lower. So yeah, that's the stop right there. We got stopped. All right, forget it. We got stopped out. All right, so I continue to push lower. Then we have the Dow pushing lower because they're looking to close that gap. Remember, we have that gap. All right, so we see the market fluctuates above and below a pivot point. Then we have nat gas coming towards reaching $3 psychological. So that's reverse along. Then we have gold that continues to push lower. Let's see. All right, so here's possible reversal, entry long on gold, or a sell because we have been pushing lower strongly. So if the market is giving us, showing us a, would it be, and I know it did penetrate our band. So let's say, for example, we did enter our position here, and then what we targeting? Let's target psychological values. 444, 644, and the swing high of this particular candle. That's a 1-3 ratio. Or let's just be more aggressive and then just say 3640. All right, there you go. 1-2 ratio. Our silver trade, we have entered here. Oh, reversal. Wow, could be a reversal. We will enter in short. Can we make this a reversal trade long, short? Maybe not. I don't want to be very bad news. But we have been pushing lower. So that's the target right there. Then the copper outside of the band. Then we have Bitcoin. Ooh. Flush it out. All of those who wanted to go long. The euro continue to push lower. The pound pushing lower. Dollar index is here close above 97 today. Most likely. Such a wild swing for NASDAQ. Such a wild swing. All right, so we have here the S&P, big gap up, big gap up. Also, crude oil fluctuating around the pivot point. Nat gas, gold. All right, there you go. Gold. Gold. So we are short gold. Entering the market short. Let's see what will happen. Then we also have here silver, pushing lower in silver. Copper. Bitcoin. Ooh, nice move to the upside. Let's take a look at the euro, the pound, dollar index. Above 97, pushing higher, and we'll see the pound hitting that level of support, 137,700, 135,700. Sorry. Will it penetrate that level? I mean, it's got to give all that back. Let's take a look at the Nasdaq. This 4 minutes, pretty tight range. It's expected to hold stand itself. Oh, look at this S&P consolidation, getting ready for a breakout or breakdown, closing that gap. Dow thou shalt see pivot point, just fluctuating around the pivot point. Not gas. Gold. Keep on pushing lower for gold. So our target 36.40. I mean, on gold, one thing that I would have done already, obviously, like my entry was right here, and so like I will just push lower. Let me put yellow. So I will just put my stop someplace where I could just be able to capture some profits. I don't want to give all that back, right? I know my target is 36.40, but hey, I'm in the profit, so I gotta protect those profits. So I'll, just push my stop lower, right? One way would have been, let's say, for example, that I already had entered up here and we down here. So basically, I would have put my stop at the swing low, but I would be already. But yeah, this is what happens. Look, market is pushing lower, and we want this market is to drop. Let's see what will happen. We had another trade, right? We had another trade open, which was the silver trade, and we are basically just right there, dude. All right, so perhaps no, just take a look at the swing high where we had our, because we used this swing low right here for a possible level of our stop, right? So let's see what will happen if silver will recover and take us out. I mean, gold, in our gold trade, we're still pushing lower. Let's see how much lower can we expect? Can we speculate for the market to see new values? So it's pushing lower. So 36.44 was our initial target, and that was hit. Actually, 36.44 flat, right? That was our initial target, and let's see if that will be hit. I mean, gold up, that will be hit. Yeah, we're taking out. That was hit. All right, so gold continued to push lower. We still have 2 minutes and 26 seconds left on this candle. So let's see. Let's see. Oh, that's a strong fluctuation to the downside. Look at that volume. Column just rising right there, picking up steam, picking up momentum to the downside. So in this case, I'll drag my stop towards that swing low, covering in case that this gold decides to just fluctuate above. I mean, 36.44, or I could be put 36.45 round value, right? Do that. I'm in the green. I'm in the money right now. I'll continue to push lower. I want to see gold hit 36.40. That's my target. That target is that value, and we capture because we actually had entered our trade at 36.50, and right now we're $45 in the green. $5 in the green. 5 buckaroos in the green. So if you have been trading an entire lot, that would be 5,000 because $1 is $1,000 of fluctuation. So that will be that. Cool. Pushing lower. Pushing lower. Let's see what this candle closes in a minute or so. Lower. I want to stay in this particular level. So let's see what would happen. Pushing lower, pushing lower. Yeah, continue to push lower. Fantastic movement on our hypothetical trade. This making money is all about what we want to be able to do. Ooh, nice, boom. And we are out of this trade because we have hit gold, just plummeted $2. All right, so 642. So that would have been our take profit, but gold seems to be continuing to push lower. So we're still in it. We're in it to win it, right? So that's why I put my stop lower at 642, but we will have been hit already anyhow. So that was basically, that's a profitable trade right there. We out of that puppy in profit. So this is silver. So now in our silver trade, we were shorting silver as well. So the target was the lower band of silver. So let's just continue to see silver hitting that level. So we again, our entry was 41,656. I'm going to obviously bring down my stop to 41,600. Right, our target is still way down here. Let's see how much of a stronger push can we come in and speculate to see and find 45,100. I mean, look, I can come in. Oh, that's a nice. There you go, puppy. Now, can I come in and lower my stop to this previous candle swing low? Yeah. And look, we already in profit. Don't be so greedy to wait for the market to hit your stop limit. You take profit. No, drag that stop loss down. Well, just you're able to cash in to protect those profits. You work so hard for them, so just hold on to those profits. Market is pushing lower. Our target is that lower band. We still got 3 minutes and 20 seconds left on this particular candle, and the market is pushing lower. The market is giving us the momentum to the downside. So continue to push lower. Let's do it, and let's see. I mean, look, 3 minutes left. Strong fluctuation to the downside. Dollar index have fluctuated above 97, so that's a strong indication that obviously pushing pressure on the metals and on the currencies as well, obviously. So let's see. I mean, if the market happens to fluctuate or recover or pull back strongly and take us out, we have already protected our profits with that stop loss, right? So that's another way to do it. You have your take profit at 41.47.2, and then your stop loss right now is at 41.550. So you cashing in. You're just allowing the market to give you more of that fluctuation to the downside. So why not? So let's see. Maybe we could bring down our stop loss just to protect more profits. And we could probably get stopped out now. And let's see. And boom, we got stopped out. All right, so cool. We got stopped out on this trade, but it was a profitable trade. Anyhow, we're still in it, right? We're still in it there. I just got stopped out because I dragged my stop loss, but we're still in it and still in this trade. So that's a pretty cool trade. All right, so let's close that out. Take a look at our other assets. Copper fluctuated to the downside strongly, and that Bitcoin fluctuated outside of our band, but quickly fluctuated back into it. And the euro just dropping. We have the pound here continue to decrease because the dollar index is mighty dollar index just pushing higher. So let's see on this assets. We're still basically we're gonna be 15 minutes into the open. Then we have S&P also pushing lower. Let's take a look at the Dow. Let's take a look at the. It's a nice move. Perhaps it's starting to run away from us. The market on crude oil, nat gas, market fluctuating below it. Do we have something on nat gas at 307.02? Why is it giving us that value? All right. Gold just penetrated, just continues to drop strongly. Silver, all right, so silver is about to hit our initial target, which was 41, that lower band. And look, it hit it. Okay, cool. Nicely done. Market is just retracing, pushing lower. Dollar index is getting stronger, so you see that fluctuation, that correlation as the dollar index pushes higher, other assets just push lower. Even the Nasdaq, it opened quite high anyhow. So market looking to close it. Yep, seems to be closing. It be doing that. All right, so nat gas. I wonder why this nat gas thing is. Let's see. Oh, what do I have at 307.2? Okay. All right, so let's see the market continue to push higher. Gold finally taking some profit here after such a strong fluctuation to the downside. Silver as well. Now we want this, if we are contemplating a reversal of the lower band, yeah, we've seen that this candle actually opened above the band, right? And it's fluctuating high, so we want it to close, right? We want it to close above it, and then we do on the next candle we enter long. Why not? Reversal of the or lower band toward reversal to the VWAP. But we still have to leave 3 minutes. So let's see. Let's go back. Let's go take a look at other assets completely out of the VWAP band. The Bitcoin rejection of the VWAP. Euro. Oh, trying to stay this upload. The pound seems to be doing a little bit of a return. Dollar index dropping. That fluctuation. And look, see, VWAP reversal. But that obviously want this candle to be in the green, but it's red, so it most likely will continue to push lower. The S&P outside, Dow outside, crude oil pushing lower, nat gas just consolidating, and gold. This is the one that we were looking at. Gold, no, because we actually silver. That we were looking to contemplate entering long silver after selling it all the way from the top. See what will happen. We want this candle to close in the green, so that's something that we want. We want it to be in the green. It's open above it, so let's see, close above it too. So we still have a minute and a half. Let's take a look at other assets. Copper just continue to push lower for 49 the target. Bitcoin can do a reversal. The euro and the pound and the other index. Let's take a look at the VIX. Look at the VIX is strong. The 10-year note also strong. Alright, so let's take a look again at the Nasdaq. Last round around on the Nasdaq, reversal of the lower band for Nasdaq after opening such a strong gap. So is this the moment that that rally has began to the upside for Nasdaq to come to 24,700? Initially is the VWAP as our target, so pushing higher. Then we have the S&P outside of the VWAP, so there's no trade there. Then we have the Dow consolidation and breakout, possible scenario for a breakout target, the VWAP, so right above 46,500. So enter short on this breakout. Crude oil fluctuating around the pivot point or typical price that we've set up. So there's no trade right there anyhow. Then we have nat gas rejecting $3. So can we speculate that now nat gas will try to look to trade it back into the band. Then we have gold and silver. So silver entry long here, position at the open. Stop loss, I'm gonna use psychological value of 41.50. Target, obviously, oh shoots. Target, obviously, initially the I'm gonna do 41.70, so I can do at least a reward ratio of 1.78. So it's pushing higher. I mean, initial target would have been the VWAP, and that's right there a great setup. Great, fantastic. All right, guys. Well, that'll be it for me. Actually, I'm gonna do 4 minutes. 8:55. Pushing higher. This trade is obviously a good trade. So we sold silver, reversal of the lower band, pushing higher into the VWAP. This is a confirmation. Entering long on this particular, that's our target hit. So that's the initial target at the VWAP. Market continues to fluctuate. So 41.70 is our next target. Obviously, we would have put a stop loss right there, so we probably would have been taken out by now because of that pullback. But let's see what will happen. We will still have 3 minutes left on this candle, and it's still pushing higher. So that's what we want. We want to see a continuation of this momentum to the upside, reversal. That reversal, greatly done by silver, by a tool. All right, guys, that will be it for me today. Thank you for watching. I will see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Bye now.